Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one's entitled, Earth is Getting Buried in Planet X Dust. Now, in Article 664 entitled Dust from the Sahara Blowing Across the Atlantic is Planet X Dust, I showed how the dust which is reportedly coming from the Sahara Desert has to actually be Planet X dust, which is coming into the Earth's atmosphere and is actually attracted to the Canary Islands. And you can see the satellite image, and you can see the dust, which is suspended in the atmosphere. And the dust cannot be streaming from the islands, and that's what it may look like at first. It is dust streaming in this direction from that island, and that direction, that direction, that direction. But if it's streaming away from this island, then the wind would need to be blowing into the different directions at the same time, and that's impossible. So instead, the dust has to be being drawn toward the islands. So it's actually moving towards the islands, and it's actually moving in the opposite direction to which it would be moving had it come from the Sahara Desert. So instead of being blown by the wind away from the Sahara Desert, it seems that it's actually attracted to the land masses that it finds underneath, because it's suspended in the atmosphere, and most likely most of this dust will actually end up being a part of the Sahara Desert. So in addition, dust, like liquid water, is too dense to remain suspended in the Earth's atmosphere for days or weeks unless it is low in gravitational energy and is thus Planet X debris. The Planet X planets broke up several thousand years ago as a result of having lost their gravitational energy. The outer layers broke into pieces, and it is to be expected that there would be a large amount of dust amongst the debris. This debris has been entering our atmosphere on a continual basis for thousands of years. And here you see an illustration of what occurred, how one of these planets broke up into a dead core and a debris field. And the debris field is actually the outer layers of the planet. And amongst that debris, there was a lot of water, and that water turned into tiny water droplets or cloud, which then surrounded the stellar cores and other solid debris pieces. And the gaseous atmosphere froze into what we call snow. And of course, it's to be expected that there would be a large quantity of dust particles or sand amongst the debris. And here you can see a satellite image from 2012 showing a large amount of dust over the Atlantic Ocean. And you can see this time is getting much further than the Canary Islands. And supposedly it's coming off the Sahara as well, and apparently even reaching the US coast. But it's impossible for a desert sandstorm to reach across the ocean or any real distance over the ocean, as a sandstorm is created by the wind propelling desert sand or desert dust into the air. But the dust swirls around and falls back to the surface, only to be propelled back into the air and moved a further distance. The dust does not remain in the air, and if it is propelled over the ocean, it gets wet and sinks, thus ending the dust storm. So this cannot be dust from the Sahara. It has to be Planet X dust, which comes from space. Now, Planet X dust remains suspended in the atmosphere until it has absorbed enough gravitational energy to reach the ground, just like water clouds. In other words, Planet X debris, water, and snow. And you may look at Article 665 entitled Green and Black Snow in Siberia is due to Planet X. And this diagram illustrates how gravitational energy for matter in the Earth increases with a decreasing distance towards the center of the Earth. So matter in the atmosphere is much lower in average gravitational energy or gravitational potential, which is gravitational energy per unit mass, than matter inside the body of the Earth or on the surface of the Earth. But Planet X debris, which comes into the atmosphere, be it whatever density it may be, rock pieces, is so low in gravitational energy that even though it is as dense as matter that's only found in the body of the Earth, it has the same gravitational energy as matter that is gaseous and for Earth only found in the atmosphere. And this is why it remains suspended in the atmosphere. And you may look at Article 529 entitled Planet X Debris Field and Water Clouds for more details. And here you can see dust reportedly by NOAA blowing off the Sahara onto the Iberian Peninsula, where we find the countries of Portugal and Spain. But this has to actually be Planet X dust, which comes in from space. Now, this means that dust has been coming into our atmosphere for thousands of years and explains why ancient cities always have to be excavated over hundreds of years. If there is no one to continuously remove it, the dust accumulates and covers up whatever buildings have been built. And you can see an archaeological site here where excavation is being done. And excavation has to be done because if there is no one living in buildings, there is no one to remove the sand and dust that continuously accumulates. Because there's Planet X dust coming into our atmosphere all the time. And here you see an archaeological excavation site where some carts were found from the early Zhou dynasty, and that was from 1045 to 256 BC in China. So we see that over this period of time of at least 2,000 years, that a huge amount of soil accumulated on top of these artifacts due to Planet X dust continuously coming into the Earth's atmosphere. You can see how the current level of the ground is different from what it was then over 2,000 years ago. And here's an archaeological dig, and you have to dig up the Planet X dust, as I said, that has accumulated over the time that the region has remained uninhabited. And this is a Roman village found in the London ducal estate, and Roman jewelry from 1000 to 700 BC was found during the excavation, and this photograph is from 2010. So this is also over 2,000 years old. So in conclusion, Planet X dust is continuously coming into the Earth's atmosphere. It remains suspended in the Earth's atmosphere until it has absorbed enough gravitational energy and eventually gets to the ground. The dust seems to be attracted to the land masses. And the Earth is continuously over thousands of years being buried in this dust. And these are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.